Hey up everybody, it's Magpie9901 and welcome to my channel. Today I'm having a look at The Division. Now, not so much having a look, but I'm going back to The Division. I haven't played the game other than 15 minutes about 2 days ago, just to check over that all the updates were working fine and that. I haven't played it since about 2 weeks after the drop of patch 1.1. Now, initially when I first started playing this game I loved it. It's exactly what I wanted from a game, apart from this little fucking bit here where it makes you walk. Why did they make you walk this bit? It's so annoying. Let me run through it. Why can't I run through it? I just want to run, for fuck's sake. But anyway, it was a game that sat with me really well. It ticked all the boxes. A nice adventure game, RPG game, set in a post-apocalyptic, that kind of end of the world scenario thing. It is something that sits really well with me. I love stuff like that. I love all the end of the world films and the survival games and things like that, and this was a survival game set in New York. Quite an accurate rendition of New York as well is something that I thought, yeah, I could get into that. I'm really looking forward to it. Now, I first saw the game back at E3 in 2013 with a lot of other people, and we saw the trailer and you just thought, wow, yeah, okay, that looks good. Game comes out, doesn't look as good as the trailer, but we know what Ubisoft are like for doing shit like that, so anybody that expected it to look the same, frankly, you're quite stupid, because this is what Ubisoft do. Anyway, the game, you could forgive it for not looking as good because it still looked beautiful. It's one of the best looking games that I have seen in a long time. And I got straight into it. Played the hell out of it for about a week and a half, ranked myself up to level 30 and thought, yeah, here comes the good stuff. And nothing happened. It really didn't. There was nothing after that. You get to level 30 and it opened up the daily missions. The daily missions were 9 times out of 10 broken. You couldn't start them. 4 people would be stood there waiting for it to go and nothing had happened. And you'd just be stood wondering what to do. A person would leave and then you'd have to leave and then you'd have to try again. Eventually the matchmaking might work and you might actually get a game. But it wasn't seamless, and it should have been. It was broken. The Dark Zone, where do you start with that? I mean, it's all been said and done before, really, but it was completely knackered at that point. The drops weren't good enough, they weren't frequent enough, there was glitches, there was hackers. I've seen people drop in from the sky, shoot shit out here, and then just vanish. And it's like, first of all, how are you doing that? Second of all, why are you doing that? You're just ruining the game for legitimate players. And it did for me and my friends that was playing it. It completely, utterly ruined the game. It wasn't something that we wanted to continue playing, and like I say, 2 weeks after 1.1 dropped, we realised that pretty much nothing had been fixed, and we decided to quit. And this is the first time I've come back. Now we're at patch 1.3. Patch 1.2 was meant to fix things, really didn't do a great job of it. According to some people I know that were still playing the game, it pretty much just carried on as it was. It didn't change anything at all. So, and it's a shame that for such a big games maker, they couldn't get this right. They were struggling all of the time with it. And, they've potentially got one of the best games of the year on their hands. Potentially a game that will bring people back time and time again. And they just wasn't fixing it. I thought, how many massive, 2 and 3 gig patches do you need to drop on a game to fix the stuff that's wrong with it? You just wasn't getting anywhere with it. I mean, God knows what they was trying to fix. But there were the issues that a lot of the things that needed fixing were actually client side, and to fix those things would have needed a complete and utter rewrite of the game, which is something that they was never going to do. Now, had these been server-side, which a lot of these things should have been, then the issues would have been patched out quite easily, I would assume. But they opted to keep it client-side, and they was never going to fix it that way. And it's a shame that it was like that, because it is a brilliant game to play. It's a gorgeous game to play. It's good just to simply walk around and just take in everything that you see, because it looks amazing. Now I think we're at the second incursion now. Oh no, the third incursion actually, I think. I've only played the first incursion, and I can't even for the life of me remember what that was called, because it was that long ago. I'm going to have to have a look at the map. That was Falcon Lost. Since then we have had... What was the other one? Or maybe we're only up to our second incursion. Clear Sky. Okay, I'm getting it wrong. We're at the second incursion, but I haven't even bothered to try and play that. I tried playing Falcon Lost, and for about one night I did 13 attempts and got nowhere. You know, people were dropping in and dropping out. You was getting 2 minutes into it and they were deciding it was too hard and they was leaving, and it created massive issues for people that legitimately wanted to play this thing through, no matter how hard it got. Yes, it can take ages if you've got a crap team, but if you grind at it, you will get through it. It's not that hard of a thing to do. You know, the main tactic was to stay in the little subway bit, stay there, and you would make it through eventually. You just had to fight off the waves. Just kill these gimps. Ooh, I'm on fire. I can't shoot while I'm on fire, apparently. But this is a perfect example. I've just took him out and got 2 purples. Now 2 purples are going to get me knackle, not going to get me anything. Alright, that wasn't a hard task to do, so the drop shouldn't be great anyway. But it highlights that even with simple drops like that, you would expect now and again to get something good. And I know that the drops in the Dark Zone have been made better, and the drops in the Incursion have been made better. There are more gear sets to collect. But I really think the damage with this game was done in the early days, and it's put a lot of people off ever coming back to it. It's put me off coming back to it. I mean, I'm trying it now and I haven't missed it. The hole that was left by it was filled in with other things. You know, Overwatch has filled a massive hole for me, and I don't know, I don't think The Division is a game that I'm going to be coming back to. It was something that I wanted to cover in this channel, and it was part of the reason I decided to do a YouTube channel, because I wanted to cover stuff about this game. And I thought, yeah, I could make a channel and cover it and keep all the news going and tips and hints for it, but it was, I don't know, I got a few weeks in and I thought, I could make stuff out of it, but it wasn't what I wanted to do no more. I just felt that the game wasn't for me anymore because it was so broke. And when you look around YouTube, there are people out there that are doing really, really top-notch content for this game. The main one that I know of is Skill Up. His videos are immense with regards to The Division. You know, they are absolutely brilliant. He never misses a trick on things. He's got all the latest news for it, and the content that he creates is far beyond anything that I could create. He really goes into the mechanics of the game, and that was something that I was never going to do anyway. I was only ever going to skim the surface on things and just give you the quick news and the quick brief stuff. So it was something that I didn't decide to follow. And it's a shame, because it's a gorgeous looking game, and it is a good game, but it's just that Dark Zone that's broke it, and that was the part of the game that was meant to make this game. It was meant to be its its crowning glory. And for the first part it did work, but it quickly fell apart. So it's a shame. I mean, Ubisoft, I know that there's 3 rounds of DLC to come out for this game. I know that one's coming up, I think it's sometime this month, and then there are 2 more lots of DLC to drop before the end of the year, I think, and they're going to carry on with the free content too, such as the incursions, but it's not enough. This game needs more, it needs a lot more, and you can liken this game to Destiny in a lot of ways. It plays like Destiny in a lot of ways, but Destiny had more free stuff to do from the start, and the grinding in Destiny was worth it. The grinding in this has never really seemed worth it, and I think it's held back by its real world setting. Destiny's a fantasy setting. You can put anything in it and anything goes because it's fantasy. Now, you can't do that with this game. You can't have giant monsters running around because it doesn't fit in to the mechanics of the realm that the game's set in. So you're limited in what you could do there. The only way you could push this game is if you was to have an infected outbreak, and that's whereby those that have been infected with the smallpox virus in some way come back as zombies. Now, that might sound lame to some people, but zombie games work, zombie games always have, and it'd be awesome if for some of these streets that you're walking down, all of the body bags started to move and hordes of zombies came out, and that's something that would bring me back to this game. But it'd have to be done in the right way, it'd have to be done in the context of reality. It'd have to be done in the context that this game is built in. You know, you just couldn't simply make it up. It wouldn't really work. It'd have to follow some sort of theme. Let's see. Ooh, mesh cap. Garnet mesh cap. I mean, this is another thing with the game. It's dropping clothing all the time, which changes what your character looks like, but it's nothing great, and it doesn't add to the attributes of your character. This mesh cap ain't going to make my head bulletproof to a certain extent. It's just going to give me a mesh cap to wear that nobody else is looking at. The clothing is really bland, and again, another wasted part of the game. So yeah, close a couple of doors, you know. There must be a stat somewhere in the game that tells you how many doors you've closed as you've gone through it, because apparently everybody had to leave the car doors open when they abandoned the city. But yeah, to summarise, it's a good game, but it's just been started completely wrong. You know, it's massive multiplayer online games like this usually suffer from server issues, client issues in the first few days, and this game didn't. It had a few little glitches here and there at the start, but otherwise it did quite well, and it pulled off the launch really well. It launched PC, Xbox One and PS4 all on the same day, and there wasn't any, well, I think I got kicked from the servers twice. Wasn't given a reason why, but I was able to log straight back in. So they got the launch spot on. It's just that the game wasn't spot on with it. So maybe eventually they'll pull this game back from the brink, but I think it was a wasted opportunity to corner a part of the market, especially on the PC, that is underused for games of a setting like this. You've got plenty of games with a fantasy setting and whatever, but you've got none that have got a real world setting, and it's almost as if they've started making this game and then just half-assed rushed to the end of it because they've not been really sure what to do with it. So hopefully they pull it back, but it remains to be seen. Will the DLC pull it back? I don't know. I think they need to put a lot more free content in it first and push to get back those players that have left it, who are people like me. So, but we'll see. Anyway, if you like the video, please like, please subscribe, because that will help me out massively, and I shall catch you in the next one. Take care.